Hey everyone, and welcome to Ink Spotlights from Comix Wellspring. This is the series where we shine the spotlight on immensely talented creators that work with us. Today, we're joined by Paul Thayer to talk about his journey, his books, and a little bit more. Paul, thank you for joining us and tell us all about your project.
Awesome. Yeah, guys. Paul Thayer, creator and writer of Project Naosis and Omega 2090. And then we also have Crimson Payne, our one shot. But it's all in the same universe. So we have 9 books right now and a superhero sci fi adventure. In the year 2090, a speedster named Crimson Payne rises up and kills off all the heroes in existence. So the government makes a super enhanced team called Project Naosis to fight off the rebellion. Super action packed. There's no multiverse or do overs. And like I said, I'm the writer and publisher, and I have amazing artists that work for me.
Oh, dude, that's epic. What a cool storyline too. It sounds like you were a fan of superheroes growing up and whatnot, and you're taking your own spin on that. And I love that because indie creators, their imagination, where they could go and how they can elevate like the big two ideas and stories that have come along. What was your process with like making this so distinct?
Process in like designing it, or
Yeah, coming up with the idea, wanting to make it feel different, refreshing, and just like also homaging to like the stuff that you enjoy.
so basically I thought of this idea, and the idea is where we're working towards. That is the ending. So the ending of Project Analysis was my original idea. It was way too complex to make that into a first issue, or get you in there on issue 4. So we're really working towards that point. And and then I grounded it in a sense of like where you start versus where you're going. Like our first issue, you follow Crimson Payne. He's the super enhanced speedster, and in that first issue he lays the whole land of what's to come. So he kills 90 million people and eliminates all the heroes, so there's no heroes left in existence, and this new team has to rise up to fight this new threat. And it's a little bit in the future. It's in the year 2090, just far enough that I could do flying cars and like laser weapons, but still close enough where I could do cities and places that might be here.
Dude, that sounds like the coolest Flash story that's never been told. Like that, hands down. I love that concept, that idea. And you're saying you're on like your ninth book already? Like you guys have made some progress.
Yeah, so Project Analysis, we did 6 issues. Project Analysis episode 5 just funded on Kickstarter. That was really well. And then we have our second chance on Fund My Comic. And then we're looking to launch episode 6 once everyone gets their books in March. So the thing about our Kickstarters is I usually have it 90% finished before we launch any of the Project Analysis Kickstarters.
Good
So we
plan.
just finished this one a couple weeks ago, and I'm already going to be printing it in like 2 weeks. And then I'll be sending them all out in March. And then March will be dropping episode 6, and the same thing, like a 3-month return. Like I don't launch these campaigns until I know like at least all the lines and inks are done, because that's the most important stuff. Anything else can be colored and so on and so forth. So we have 6 of those out now. We have 2 prequel books called Omega 2090, which is our prequel series, which is a jumping on point as well. It's 2 28-page stories so far, following our main superhero and how he got his powers. That's 7 total, and then oh no, that's 8 total. And then our last one is Crimson Payne one shot. We have a beginning, middle, and end just following our supervillain. I did a Kickstarter survey, and I asked everyone in the questions who your favorite character is, and it's usually Omega, who's our main superhero, or Crimson Payne, who's our main villain. So it's really cool to see, and a lot of people like what we did with the first issue with the villain. So it's good to give people the one shot.
Oh man, that's so cool. And it sounds like your team is just as on point as you are. You seem very, structured, organized. It sounds like you have a plan of attack for every one of these books. How do you go about that? How do you go handle the business aspect of doing comics? It looks like you're doing cons, you're producing these books like crazy, you're keeping everyone on track. Are you a one-man show in all this too?
Yeah. So I sell everything, and I design all the websites and all that stuff. So with conventions, that was like my first thing I did. And my first convention I did was Terrificon. My second convention I ever got into was San Diego Comic Con.
Oh, cool.
And that was 4 years ago. We've been doing this for about 4 years now. And at Terrificon, everyone was like, "Oh, was this on Kickstarter? Was this on Kickstarter?" I was like, "What's a Kickstarter?" You know what I mean? And then I saw that you can like build up this base as just a secondary thing. What I'm just doing it for is having it as a pre-order, because people really love these sites, these Kickstarters, these Indiegogos, these Fund My Comics. So we use it for that. But I was already funding everything prior. So I fund everything myself. I used to do it through what my old job was, and now I just do this full time.
Sick.
And we've been killing it. And I own 100% of Project Analysis and all the IP. And I hire great artists to work on each series and help with the concept art and stuff. I can do like a light sketch or some thumbnails, but nothing like how a real artist can do. So it's really good to work with a great team, and everyone that usually works with us on every single issue really enjoys the product they're making. You can see it in the work.
Oh, dude, that's sick, dude. So, like, why comics? Why this medium? What got you into comics and to start creating this story?
So the main thing was I'm a big comic fan, on and off, like everybody, like sometimes like my big thing was like the New 52. That's what I grew up on. That was like my high school. And then I stopped and then got back into it in 2019. And then 2019, I went to New York Comic Con and I saw that like I was trying to find an artist and nobody was trying to sell me anything. And I thought it was the strangest thing ever because I came from a sales background
Hmm.
and I used to run a bunch of gyms.
Oh, cool.
And I saw that no one wanted to sell or even communicate, not even hello. At least some people,
Yeah.
and I thought that was so strange. So I was like, this is definitely where I need to be. Like I need to be selling these things here. That's how we make the majority of our money is from doing all these conventions. Like I do San Diego Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con, C2E2, all these stuff. And we do really well. We don't go there to make connections. We go there to hustle and sell as many books as possible. And I would say we do really great in person, and we're really trying to build up that online presence.
Nice.
But I love comics. I get them every single month or every single week, depending on what stuff comes out. And I really like what they're doing even currently right now in comic books. Like I think DC and Marvel and Image, they're really, in my opinion, I think they're the strongest they've ever been right now. And selling 400,000 copies and more on anything is insane.
Yeah.
So, I think that this is the rising tide.
Yeah. No, definitely. I love that, dude. I mean, and honestly, the New Gods book is so good. It's one of the best books out there right now. I love that stuff.
So I enjoyed that book a lot, and I only bought it for the art.
Yeah.
I read one of the only Jack Kirby books I ever read with the New Gods. I have the full first run
Mm.
upstairs, and I was like, all right, I liked it. I was like, let me see this, and it's just the art is just like next level.
Top tier,
It's just
right?
like so insane. It looks animated,
Yeah.
and I'm a big action guy. 80% of all my comic books are action. But this wasn't as much action. I really enjoyed it. That's how you know it's really good. Like only certain stories like Ultimate Spider-Man or like even Ultimate Batman has a lot of dialogue, like just a lot of dialogue, and it works.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that too. And going to your tabling, it sounds like you get so much success tabling. How do you bring in an audience to your tables? I think that's like what you're saying. What indie people struggle with the most is creating their audience at conventions. What's some tips and tricks you could kind of share that have helped you out?
Yeah, me, I got the opposite problem. I do great there, and then my what I do in a weekend, I'm getting on a Kickstarter. But it's just about really making that connection with somebody. You first have to have a good product. Your product shit. You can try to sell somebody all day, nobody's gonna buy it. Like so I sell a lot, and I post a lot of it when we do conventions on how many people we sell and all this stuff. And I know my pitch. I have a precise pitch, and let's even say at New York Comic Con, I posted hundreds of people that bought books. There was thousands that said no. You know what I mean? But I'm doing hundreds and hundreds because I just keep going. I'll be on the 10th and then I'll do 30 in a row. And then, but you'll see it when you're there. It'll be like I'll be going, go, 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 go. I don't take breaks. And on my sixth no, I'm still doing the same exact thing, repetition over and over again. And someone will get two no's and they're done for the day. We're done for the day. We need to get lunch. We need to hang out. Let's connect. No, I stay and I just keep going, especially these bigger ones where I really have to make an impact. Like there's time and place for connections. But I really think about just knowing your product, being able to sell your product with confidence, and having a precise pitch that's not, they should be either buying or not buying in 30 seconds. Otherwise, they have to move.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Oh,
So, and if you can't sell them in that 30 seconds, then it's not precise enough. If you're sitting with somebody for 10 minutes telling them a life story about how this guy was like your cousin Freddie back in 2008, no one, and then he says, no, you just wasted 15 minutes of your time.
and 50 people have
And
walked by. 100 people have walked
more than
by.
that,
Like,
more than
yeah,
that, and you can't, especially the big ones. It could be
yeah,
hundreds of people walking by. Like San Diego, it's just nonstop. It's nonstop. Crowds just pushing.
yeah.
So for me, always it was 100% always I had to sell, sell, sell. I would say now 30% of the people that come to my tables now are like people that are actually following the product and following the books and just want to get them at that precise convention where they go every year, which is
Yep.
really cool. And I like that as well. But you just got to know your stuff. It's really important to know your product, and you really got to believe in your product. Like I sell my single issues for $10 and my trades I sell for 50. But conventions and online recently, I've been selling this last trade for like $40, and that's all day. Like there's no, if the product can't sell for what your price is at, that's another thing as well. So like I see some people that do single issues, they're like 25 $30 and they're 20 pages. That might work on Kickstarter, that might work on Indiegogo. When you go to convention, no one's going to buy that.
Yeah.
My opinion, it's $10 is like the max for a single issue. Even for me, max, like maximum. And it is a lot to print and stuff like that, but it's worth it.
No, completely. Yeah. And knowing that business side and, you having that sales background, I think benefits you so much as well. Knowing how to talk to people and figure out a hook and like get them in and reel them and to like know how to like, sell your product, sell your story. And, the quick one liner, you got to know your pitch. That is vital to every indie creator's like, path to success. But that business side is such a big hiccup for people and that presentation. And speaking of presentation, we were just talking right now and I was looking at your forum. You were mentioned on Forbes for your booth at New York Comic Con. Do you want to talk a little bit about that real fast? Like what caught their attention of your
So that
booth?
was my third time. The first time was at the New York Comic Con prior, and then I got featured at this other convention. But this one was like the first time that it was like a nice, juicy couple paragraphs on like what we're doing, what we're working on. The person that works for Forbes, his name is Mark. He actually gets books from us, and
Cool.
it was the same thing. It was guy walks by, he's not looking at you. I get his attention. I talk to him. I sell him. He likes it. It's gone. The whole point is like, if you can sell them, it works if they continue to buy, So this is someone that actually is supporting it, likes it, and then sees the upgrade every single year. Like I have 9 issues out now, and the year New York Comic Con, I should have about 12. So, I'm always growing this product line as well to keep the momentum going. But it's really that, I grabbed his attention. I sold him. He enjoyed it after. You can sell him all you want. You can have a beautiful setup, but if they don't like the product, that wouldn't happen. So he enjoys the product too, which is great. Not saying everyone enjoys the product, but I would say it's a good 90% that does. Not everything, and not everyone enjoys everything.
Yeah, completely. Totally understand that. Dude, that's awesome. Congrats on all of that
Thank you.
success, dude, especially for the time span you've been doing this for how many books you've put out and worked on. That's a lot of work. And, it looks like you've been messing with every single way to find success. And I'm sure
Yeah.
there's some failures in there sprinkled in, but those are so hidden by like the big bombastic things you've done. You got to trip and fall before you really make it into the leagues. And I feel like you're on your way up there. Dude, super hype. So where can people get all of your material? You're mentioning your website and it looks amazing too, by the way. Great job on that.
Yeah, so Project Naosis, Naosis.com. We ship everything right to your door. So you can order anything on there. All of our single issues, we have variant covers, variant trades, and you place that order. I ship it within that week, and then it should come to your house in a couple of days. I ship at least twice a week. But ProjectNaosis.com, we ship everything right to your door. There's also character bios on there. And, give it a shot. It's a $10 book, or you can get a $40 trade, which is 120 interior pages. And if you love it, you go from there. But it's super awesome. If you're looking for something that never will get retconned, this is it. This is my main superhero genre that's going to be in my publishing line. We're working on some other stuff now for my company, but this is our workhorse. And the only way we can blow it up is by having amazing people support. And we're not stopping. Like a minimum for Project Naosis, minimum. This is minimum 30 issues. It's going. The scripts are done. So like I have like 40 scripts, but I could do 30 like confirmed without making anything whack. So like
Man,
it needs to be that full story. Like even my single issues that are like 24 pages, 20 pages, I try to make sure there's always a beginning, middle, and end. Why? Because you're waiting quarterly or a little bit more for the book, and then or for the next one. And then 2, like I personally need a beginning, middle, and end. Like there should be a lot of things that resolve in each issue, but of course keep the ongoing pressure of what's next.
exactly. Dude, looks like you know your craft too. I mean, that's why you're finding success. You know your craft, you know the business, you know how to stay focused. And staying focused as an indie creator is so difficult because we're all artists and creators and our ADHDs everywhere. But you have that locked down. And I admire that so much because the discipline is why you're successful and why you're just killing it right now.
It's something I learned though. Like when I had my second issue, I was like, let's do hoodies, let's do hats, let's do, on and on. And you're thinking, and I'm like, that's why the prequel book actually came. Like to say like what I would have done differently would be like the Omega 2090, I should have just put in Project Naosis. It should have been Project, even if it's a prequel, it should have been Project Naosis 4, 5, 6, 7. Because then I would be on Project Naosis 9 right now versus 5. And 9 looks great. It's
Yeah.
just about getting the content. Even if it's the same story, and it's the same story too. It's not like it's like something completely ungodly different. Because I had another idea. I'm like, wait, this is a really cool idea too. And it is needed for the story, but it could have got thrown in with Project Naosis.
Again, like lessons learned through the path, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's just stuff that we pick up over time and we realize, and it's, we realize what to fix in the future and how to make things more effective. And I love that. Dude, this has been awesome talking to you. Real quick, do you want to shout out any cons you're doing this year as well so people can find you?
So everything that you'll find me under is Visual Vibration. That's our publishing company. We are confirmed for C2E2, which is in Chicago, Awesome Con, which is in DC. We got the Creators Con in March, Indie Creators Con in March. That's in Connecticut. We got Super Jersey Con in New Jersey. I have New York Comic Con at the Javits Center. I have San Diego Comic Con. And we're confirming more. I'm looking at my schedule. It's like in a calendar
Nice.
over there. But we have a lot, and we're going to be constantly doing more. And I'm looking for more shows that have a lot of people that we can really push a lot of product for.
Love it, dude. I'll definitely be seeing you and hanging out at IC3. I can't wait to see you there and talk more. And then hopefully at AwesomeCon, I might pop by there too, because it's in the DC area, like nearby where
Yeah.
I'm at. So we'd love to see you there as well. So, dude, thank you for taking your time and stepping in the spotlight today to talk about your projects. And I wish you the best in luck, and I can't wait to meet.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.